The Global View on China trip brought more than 24 college students from around the world on an 11-day whirlwind journey in August 2025. We traveled from Beijing to Shanghai with many fascinating points in between.
Going to China was like the best 2 weeks of my life. I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, the trip was amazing. I had a great time. It was intense and busy.
This trip has been a trip of a lifetime. They've been really accommodating. We've been treated like VIPs the entire time. We've been able to do so much in such a short time.
Students from Brazil, Italy, the United Kingdom, France, Pakistan, and the United States got to spend almost 2 weeks with their Chinese counterparts.
Old saying in China, wherever you comes, you are always a friend. So my culture taught me that being inclusive is very important. So helping everyone to adapt, it's my responsibilities.
Everyone was so helpful and so kind, and they were like really trying to help us, which was really, really nice.
In France, we are very not welcoming with the tourists, and the Chinese are so welcoming. So that's impressed me a lot.
I think every place that we've met, the Chinese people have been open to helping us and showing their culture, and they're so proud of their culture, and it just makes you want to learn about their culture and be engulfed in it.
So it's really nice to live this experience with people from my age who have other backgrounds. I think we grow a lot together. I'm really happy to now have friends in a lot of countries.
You get to learn more when you're with a group, and you, I think, make more memories.
The first stop was the Great Wall of China at Badaling, outside of Beijing.
Some of the highlights for me was definitely the Great Wall. I thought was very surreal, like in person. It was huge, it was beautiful.
The Great Wall, a beautiful and immense structure and symbol of Chinese culture.
Walking there, like seeing the sunset, everything was amazing.
We even broke into song for a flash mob atop the Great Wall.
When I was 7 years, I was in my school, and we are learning about the Great Wall, and I said for my teacher, on one day I will go to this place.
We were treated to a feast at every meal.
Very healthy, with like a bunch of different options and very good food overall.
I love chicken hot pot. It's my best favorite food I try.
They gave us hundreds of different foods that I would never have been able to have in the US.
American Chinese food is so much different than real Chinese food, and it's always something that I wasn't expecting at all.
The Beijing roasted duck that is very famous over there. That is a specific way they prepare the duck. But for me, the most different part it was that they eat the skin of the duck with sugar, and it was really good.
In China, it's normal to drink hot water during lunch or dinner. They don't drink water with ice at all. I was confused about it, and then I learned that hot water is actually really good for you, that ice block digestion.
Só em como a comida é servida, mas também como essas pequenas diferenças culturais, elas são muito ricas. A gente percebe como o mundo vive uma pluralidade gigantesca.
We posed at the giant Zhangjiamen Gate near Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City. We climbed to the top floor of the Beijing Drum Tower, which started construction in the year 1272. This is how they used to announce the time of day in ancient times. We also visited the Temple of Heaven, a UNESCO World Heritage Site begun in 1406.
And you can see like the colors of the temple reflecting off the sunset, which was very beautiful.
It's one of many places we saw a charming tradition play out. Chinese tourists dressed up in traditional costume taking selfies.
That's a little cultural quirk that they feel that type of connection, the importance of the cultural history, the pride in being Chinese.
2 American YouTubers on the trip, Marshall McCraw and Vincent Gao, hammed it up in traditional costumes as well when we visited a peach orchard outside of Beijing. There, high-tech weather stations keep watch, and unmanned vehicles spread water and cut the weeds.
There were such juicy peaches, so I've never eaten. They were bigger, much more bigger than we have in Italy.
We played with drones at an industrial complex nearby and watched farmers do live streams to promote their products. This gal was even selling giant crickets. One morning, we did research and took turns presenting information about China, including about the Great Wall, the Temple of Heaven, the dynasties, cuisine, and tea ceremonies. The next day, we visited the Grand Canal, another UNESCO World Heritage Site begun in the 5th century BC. It stretches more than 1,000 miles from Beijing to the southern city of Hangzhou. We learned about successful efforts to improve water quality in the Grand Canal at a modern building right next to an ancient tower that served as a lighthouse.
I come from the desert, so it's especially impressive that they're able to move a ton of water from the south to the north, which is a very dry area, so I found that very fascinating.
We also toured a museum dedicated to the Grand Canal's influence on Chinese culture. Here you find wonders at every turn, including this intricate wooden carving of the Grand Canal and a room full of exquisite jade carvings. We even got to make potpourri sachets, the ancient way.
That was probably my favorite museum because of how much there was to do and see.
Next, we attended a concert in the town of Pingyu, honoring its sister city of Llíria in Spain. Then, for a little comic relief, some of our group showed off the cha-cha slide. The next day, we toured a TV and research application laboratory, including an HD video editing suite and huge green screens.
My big takeaway from this trip is probably that China is a really amazing, it's a very futuristic, but also it can really teach about the past.
This robot lab in Beijing was a highlight of the trip for many. Here you could interact with hyper-realistic robots, even have a chat with Albert Einstein, or ask an ancient Chinese philosopher about the meaning of life. We saw a robot pharmacist, robot dragon dogs, and robot pets, even a robot rock band. The robots even made our lunch.
The robots made us food, and the robot also made each one of us their food from our culture. And so I had carbonara, for example.
But what really blew our minds is a game where you can control the screen with a headset that reads your mind.
At the Robot Lab, I was really impressed with that, and I think I never saw something like that.
Later, we gathered at a cafe and ended up in a giant sing-along at the piano.
We are all together, many languages, many people from other countries, but as a union we sing and we danced all together. It was amazing.
I can tell everybody loves it. They dance and sing, everybody's happiness. That's the moment we feel it's all worthy. All the hard work is worthy.
Later that night, a rooftop dance party.
Dancing all together, eating all together. It was such a pleasure to meet you all.
Then we got to meet Kui Jian, the godfather of Chinese rock. Later in the trip in Yancheng, we suited up for a hyper-realistic multiplayer virtual reality game. We tested out a machine that takes more than 100 photos, creates your avatar, and 3D prints you a souvenir. And we played around in an artificial intelligence art lab.
There is no country in the world as futuristic and full of civilization. And every day I am in China, I learn more and more. And I think that this country is so advanced compared to the rest of the world.
We headed south to the town of Hangzhou, known as the hometown of martial arts in China, where we got a lesson in Kung Fu from the students at this elite martial arts school. Nicolette even got to show off some of her moves from her cheerleading days.
We had a little show off of the tumbling skills we could do. I did a round off back handspring, and so many of them did aerials. It's just amazing all these skills that they have, that they gain at such a young age too.
One evening, we saw this stunning structure called Nanchuanlu, a reconstruction of an ancient reception hall used in the salt trade. And we took a boat tour of the Kangju section of the Grand Canal.
The rain kind of like added to the general vibe and aesthetic of the place, and it was so pretty.
We got a royal welcome at Wuqiao Acrobatics World, a sort of amusement park with many talented performers, like this hilarious musician who played the horns with his nose. We saw tricks on unicycles, and Vincent got carried away, so to speak, during this performance. And who knew you could balance kitchen items quite like this?
You look at them and you know that they're practicing that their whole lives, and you gotta appreciate what they do. You know, it's so impressive and so well done.
Then we saw an acrobatic show that rivals anything in Las Vegas.
Of course we have like magic shows and acrobatics in the US and stuff, but not to the level of expertise that they have here. And it was mind-blowing to watch and really shocking and impressive.
It was like crazy, the stuff that they were doing, and I can only imagine like how much practice that took.
Later, we were dwarfed by the massive Iron Lion statue in Kangju. Then we let loose with our Chinese friends at the Tsingtao Beer Festival, complete with music and dancers in Qingdao City.
It was so fun and entertaining, and it was nice to like sit down with everyone we met, like the students and other people on the trip, in like a chilled out way as well, and just got to socialize. I really enjoyed it.
Another highlight, the Huai Opera Town Museum, where we had a ball trying on opera costumes.
When we try on some Chinese cultural clothes, yeah, I think that was my favorite part of the trip. Like to really embody Chinese history.
And I've never felt so pretty in my life. And the detailing on the costumes was incredible.
We gave everyone a good laugh with our rendition of You're the One That I Want from the musical Grease. The last leg of the trip showcased China's commitment to environmental protection. We saw lovely lotus flower ponds and took a boat tour of the Nandagang wetland in Hebei province, a migratory bird sanctuary where 9 rivers come together. We also visited the Yellow Sea Wetland Museum in Yangcheng, but we were blown away as handlers released dozens of endangered red-crowned cranes at a nearby ecotourism park. The birds soared into the sky and then landed right in front of us.
It felt like a movie. Just seeing them get released and fly into the air and then come back, it was a beautiful thing.
Then we got to feed the Milu deer at a preserve in Yangcheng. They look like reindeers but are native to this wetland area of China. The species had been hunted almost to extinction, but after World War II, a zoo in the UK gifted 39 animals back to China, where the population has rebounded and is thriving. We spent a morning at the Tiaozini wetland at the Yellow Sea, another UNESCO World Heritage Site.
There's just obviously been a lot of thought put into creating these natural habitats. I think Yellow Sea wetlands had been designated and cleaned up at some point.
Then we toured the Dongtai Huangwei Forest Park, a place that started out as a tree farm in 1965, but has been transformed into a lovely tourist attraction with wooden walkways that soar into the trees.
I felt like we were inside the trees at some point because of like we were above the ground in like these big trees. I thought it was really cool.
The walkway ends, get this, at a Dairy Queen. Then, right in the middle of the forest, cabins on raised walkways.
The forest we went to was stunning. I feel like that would be such a cool place to stay because it's just like so much greenery.
And they have an adorable play area called the Wooderful Land, where every ingenious game is made of wood. The trip ended in Shanghai, where we took an evening boat ride to the glittering riverfront called the Bund. That's where you get the best views of the famous Pearl Tower and of Shanghai Tower with 128 floors, one of the tallest buildings in the world.
The skyline was like unlike any other one I've ever seen. Everything there was just super cool and like interesting.
Everything here was beautiful. I thought all the Chinese classical architecture is gorgeous, and a lot of the new modern stuff is very fantastic.
They do it like they light it up. Like seriously, every single building, everything is lit up with like LED lights, different colors, red, blue.
It would be fun to come here again because we've barely scratched the surface.
China is a country that everyone has to travel one time in their life.
We took the bullet train south and were amazed at how everything is so efficient and orderly.
In transportation, like with self-driven cars, bullet trains, development is more advanced than any place I know.
Well, considering they have over 1 billion people living here in China, the streets are not too crowded most of the time. They don't rely on fossil fuels as much. We saw a lot of electric cars here.
Nobody uses cash. They use their apps for everything. They use WeChat, they use Alipay for everything. And their whole life goes around those apps, and it's so much easier.
The level of cleanliness is truly remarkable.
I love how clean the streets are. For me, this was crazy because Beijing is such a huge city and it was so clean. So I was like, wow.
We went to so many public places, so many parks in China, and you wouldn't see any litter, no graffiti. People were so kind to strangers. I felt very safe there and felt very welcome.
In the subway in Paris, we don't have the air conditioner work very well. And in Shanghai, it impressed me that the air conditioner work very, very well. It's simple, but I think it makes the difference and to enjoy more your trip.
What stands out in China is the attention to detail, an intentional decision to inject beauty into everyday life. From this huge piece of public art in Shanghai to this fanciful ceiling in the subway, the massive gate in this Beijing city park with elegant shaded benches. And then there's the meticulous landscaping at every turn, even in the middle of the road. Many buildings feature vivid colors and elaborate decoration and have a parade of magical creatures on the corner of the rooftop. And there's a story behind the 2 lions guarding the entrance.
One lion is the dad, so he's holding a ball, and the other lion is the mother. So it's kind of a family taking care of the plate.
You know what you hardly ever see? Roadside billboards. Instead, you find jumbo letters, signs with inspirational messages.
For example, when we would be on the buses, we would go past loyalty, love, peace, and it was inspirational.
That you can see that the government is doing things to help the people as opposed to leave everything up for a chance to sell something.
The organizers wanted the trip to highlight the many faces of China, past, present, and future.
Beijing is a big city with a rich history and also high-tech companies. And Changzhou, the Hebei province, it's a smaller city with a specialty in martial arts and acrobats. And Yancheng, it's famous for the biodiversity. We just want to show the students different perspective of this country.
I think it was very important that you guys were able to see it for yourself, the real, authentic China with the traditional part and the dynasties, the cuisine, the history, and also the modern and futuristic part. I am very thankful for ICN Network because we partner in collaboration with the Young Leaders Foundation.
A gente se inspirou tanto no projeto da China que a gente está trazendo uma versão que são as rotas culturais do Global View on Ceará, e hoje a nossa ideia é expandir para o mundo inteiro.
I thought it wouldn't be as free as it is here, but you can do pretty much whatever you want.
I think a lot of people misunderstand China, and for this trip we really experience China. We don't just hear it from the news, or we don't just see it from the social media, but we really experience and feel it.
It's even better from what I've seen in the books, you know? In the media, they don't have a good image about China. So when I told people, oh, I'm going to China, they were like, why are you going to China? You sure? Be careful. And I mean, I just want to tell them what I've seen here and the experience, because it was amazing.
The freedom, the openness, the warmth of the people, that's something that really has stuck with me. Just the kindness, the curiosity.
90% of the things I heard before going to China are wrong. Chinese people are some of the kindest people I've ever met, and they're super clean, they're super kind, they're super welcoming and warm.
A trip chock full of memories, but perhaps the most lasting, the friendships.
Oh, I made a ton of friends on this trip, a ton of lifelong friends, and we're already planning on visiting each other in our respective countries
For me, the moments that I spent with my friends, the people that I met, it was so cool, like meeting new people, seeing the friends I've made, and talking to them again.
So many new people from Brazil, UK, France, Italy, and US. And now we have planned to visit Brazil together for the carnival in February 2026.
One thing we all agreed, this trip was a game changer.
So I think everyone needs to go there. Like, it was an experience that I will never forget.
This trip really changed my life because not only did I get to experience China, I got to do it with people from across the world.
In China, there's so much love and community. It just feels like you never want to leave.
As an international relations student, having international experience is really important. I will really learn a lot about being a global citizen, you know?
Beatrice, Alice, Jasmine, and Li Feng, I can only thank the organizers for this unique experience. This trip changed lives.
People that organized and funded this trip, I just want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity. It definitely changed how I view the world, and it inspired me to want to travel to more places.
Beatrice, Alice, Li Feng, Jasmine, I think everybody did a really good job and made everything effortless for us.
I mean, there's so many things we've done, so many memories we've made, so many different places we've seen.
There are some things in life that you really can't explain with words. Just gotta live it to learn and to know new things. You gotta do it.
Go. Just go. You'll have the best time of your life. You will meet so many kind people. It will really open your eyes.
So my mission remains the same, is to turn cultural memory into empathy and global leadership. Culture is not only a monument, it is a message, it's a movement, one that we must learn to read together. Traveling is how we understand other cultures and how we understand each other and bring peace. I believe that.